Good morning. My name is Kathy and I am 71 years old. I thought I would come to you this Sunday morning and show you how I go from bare face to a completed face. What I have done on my face so far is my skincare, and then added a moisturizer, and it has had at least 15 minutes to set. I have done my eyebrows. I am, as a senior woman, my eyebrows are very thin and probably need to have something done with them professionally, but haven't taken that plunge yet. So I'm still drawing them on, and it's quite a process. So one of these days, if you're interested, leave me a comment down below and I will try to film what I do for my eyebrows. I don't worry so much about this one. This one is the one that is the sparsest. And I don't worry too much about that because that's the side that I part my bangs on. I also wear glasses, and so the top of my glasses sometimes covers part of my brow. So I don't worry too much about that one, although that one's the one that takes me the most work to get on it. So what I want to share with you is a product that I came across about between 4 and 6 months ago. I can't remember which, actually. And it was a product that I'd seen on the internet, like you, watched movie after movie, video after video, short after short. And I kept thinking, yeah, I'm not going to do that. You know, that's just another thing. I don't want to go there. I love the concept. Having everything in one makeup or in one palette, I thought was a very cool idea. But I couldn't imagine that it was actually covering that mature skin the way I saw it. Finally caved, and started using it about, 4 or 5 months ago. And I love it. And I couldn't believe the coverage that I got from the cream-based makeup. And I want to share it with you because I believe that every woman of any age wants to look her best. And at 71, I'm not out to win a beauty pageant. I'm, know that my skin does not bounce back. And there are things that I can't do with makeup looks that I was able to do when I was younger. But I still want to look my best, and I want to put a little bit of effort into it. Plus, I've always enjoyed makeup. Makeup to me is fun. And so with this particular makeup, I kind of get to play every day, and I enjoy that. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I am going to show you how I apply the 3D makeup. Now, for me, I like to do my eyes first. So we are actually going to do my eyeshadow first. And this is the particular palette that I have chosen today. And of interest to some of you, not sure if it will be, but I think we all end up with a favorite eye palette that we purchase retail. And we've loved it. But you and I both know that then comes a time when we've used up our 2 or 3 favorite colors, and we have to make a decision. Are we going to go buy a whole new compact for those 3 colors, or are we going to buy something different and see if we fall in love? Because sometimes it's hard to see what the eyeshadow is going to be until you actually put it on your eyes. So what I did yesterday, I took my favorite palette and I matched it to the Saint shadows. So I'm very excited to do this. I haven't done this look yet with these shadows. I swatched it on my arm, my old palette, and then all of the Saint colors, and came up with what I think is a pretty good dupe. So I am going to start, and I should have had these popped out so that I can share it with you. The first color that I am going to use is Mama. Mama is a beautiful wash of product, and I'm going to take that from the base of the lashes all the way up to my eyebrow. And you can see it just gives a really nice little wash of color as a base for my shadow up to my brow. Now you can hear me tapping, and what I'm tapping in is my little container that my sponge came in. And it's just kind of a neat way not to get stuff all over my makeup desk here. The next color I'm going to use is called Cafe. It's a little bit of a kind of a taupey color, And you'll see that I'm pouncing, and then I tap the excess off. And what I want to do is, I have hooded eyes, so I want to come up here. Here would be the crease. But if I put that color in the crease, it's simply going to disappear when I do open my eyes. So I want to define that, and I'm going to come above, and I'm going to give myself a wash of color above the crease. Can you see how instantly that makes a difference? This is, I'm using the eyeshadow brush from Saint. It's the one with the fluffy end, and it has a little bit more precise end at the back. Now, the next color we are going to use is actually going to be in that, if I can get it out of my palette, it's going to be the one that we put in the corner of the eye, and I believe this one is called Oak, but I don't have my glasses on, so just a second. Let me take a look at that. Yes, this is Oak. So this is a deeper shade, but again, nothing too wild and crazy. I'm going to take the pointed end again. I'm going to just give it a little bit, and I'm going to come down here to deepen that outer side. Flip my brush, and I'm going in swirling motions. I think for one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing if you are working on mature eyes is that you try to not tug and pull any more than necessary. And you'll notice that I'm simply going in those sweeping motions. And you'll also notice that I'm holding the brush a little farther away. The closer I end here, hold it to the end here, the more tugging and pulling I'm doing on my eye. I don't want to tug and pull. I simply want to blend. Okay. Now, the last color we're going to use is a color. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I can't read these. The next time I'll write them down so I don't have to do this. Oh, this is Venus. This is a very pretty color, and this has a little sparkle. So you may have read, as a mature woman, I probably shouldn't be wearing sparkle. But if you wear sparkle on this part of your eye, about halfway in, you're staying out of the texture part. And let's try it with our pinky finger. Yeah, that gives me the payout that I want. So do you see? I'll turn to the camera here. I've got a magnifying glass over here that I need to look in. Can you see? I've got a little bit there. I'll clean that up later. That's the reason I like to do my eyeshadow first, is I can clean it up when I put my eyeshadow, or when I put the rest of my face on. Okay? So there you can see a little bit. We're not talking oodles here. And actually, I want to go in more on the corner on this eye. That kind of went backwards for me, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to show you a trick. Okay, I put eyeshadow where I didn't want it, which was on the outer part of the eye. I normally don't like that sparkle. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my moistened sponge, and I'm going to take a little bit of that off. And then I'm going to take that very first color that we did. I'm going to brush over that again. And what it will do is it will mute it so that I'm not real sparkly. So let's see if you can see my eyes. It's a very simple look, but I like the softness of it. I love the muted tones. These tones will go with absolutely anything. And I think that's the reason that I fell in love with that palette to begin with. The one that I wanted to dupe for you. Because I wear this color combination, I would say the majority every single day. Now we're going to wait to put the mascara on, so the Va Va Voom will come a little bit later. But now we're going to go ahead and work on the face. All right, so when you look at my face, you can see I have this tear trough that comes down here, a little bit of darkness. You see some redness through here, and I'm not sure if this picks up on camera, but it's kind of a little sunken area. That was the first thing that I noticed, and I realized I needed to do something for skincare. I wasn't doing anything for skincare other than washing my face. I was not using any kind of special creams, anything. After I saw this, I started doing some research, and I started using some products that had retinol in them. And my skin responded so beautifully, excuse me. My skin responded so beautifully to the retinol, like it was really thirsty. Then I did a little bit deeper dive into the anti-aging beauty regime and found out that there was a company online that is monitored by a dermatologist. I'm not sponsored by them. I simply use their product and I pay for it all the time. And it's called Agency. And Agency is a prescription service where I send them a photo. They take a look at my skin. I have to get up close and personal so they can see what they're dealing with. They will recommend the percentage of retinol or tretinoin actually that I can use safely. They will bump me up gradually. I have been using that product now for a year and a half. Unbelievable results. Unbelievable results. And so I would really encourage you, if you haven't already gotten on a prescription tretinoin, because you can buy some over the counter, but you can't buy possibly what you need. Had I have started on this 20 years ago, who knows what my skin would look like. But I'll take what it is because it's made a big change. I've noticed a lot more brightening. I noticed that I don't have near the sloughing and the dullness that I had to my skin before. I will occasionally have some dry spots. That's normally the tretinoin working because your skin does turn over every so many days and it's going to have to slough off. And so occasionally I do have that, but I just deal with it and go on. So I'm going to show you probably the quickest way of putting this foundation on. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to show you this because this is what you're seeing on the internet. This is my palette. We are going to start with a contour shade, which, by the way, I never used to contour. Never used to contour before. I just thought it would take too much time. My face is very round. I thought if I start contouring, it's going to take me forever to apply my makeup. So what I'm doing now is I like to think of the contour going on the hard areas of my face, on my forehead, right at the top of my cheekbone, and I do a little bit here on the jawline. Sometimes it's just what I've got left over, a little bit here so my little turkey neck doesn't show. A little under that lower lip, it will give me a little bit more of a pouty look. And then if you want to try to straighten your nose, because I know this sounds goofy, but if it lengthens your nose, it will elongate your face. I have to look in my mirror to do this. Okay, I think it might be a little crooked. We'll fix that as I go along. And yeah, it is. And I got a little much. So again, let me see if I can't blend that out just a little bit. Now, the contour is a different consistency. It's a little thicker than the other products. It needs to warm on the skin, and that's the reason that I put it on first. I want it to warm to my skin so that when I start blending everything else out, it will blend out as well. Now I'm going to take the small end of that brush that I used for my contour, and I'm going to put my brightener on. I'm going to put one swipe here on each of the corners of my eye and just a little dot on the center of close to my nose. And then I'm going to give myself a little bit up at the top. I'm going to go over and I'm going to straighten that out. I'm going right down on the center of my face, and this goes on the soft spots. Now I put a little bit up here on my upper cheek And hopefully when I blend it out, you're going to see why. Now I'm ready for my 3D product. My 3D, excuse me, I'm really tongue-tied. 3D illuminator. This illuminator is another name for, highlight. A highlight is another name for a foundation. I'll be okay. I really have had 1 cup of coffee. Now, I'm going to actually put this color. This is the color that matches my skin tone the closest. And all I'm doing is just putting swipes of this on my face anywhere that I have not already put product. Okay? And some people like to put their blush on now. I don't. I like to put my blush on afterwards. All right, so now I'm going to use my 3D sponge. This is the one with the pointed end, and then we've got a little bunny tail on this end. We're going to use the bunny tail, and we're going to first go up on the forehead, and I'm going to work that contour up into my hairline. I have gray hair, almost white, so I have to kind of watch. I want to make sure that that doesn't get into my hair. And then I'm going to come down here and I am going to blend on my neck. Now this is about the only place you're going to see me swipe. Everything else now is going to be stipple. So I'm going to take and I'm actually going to pounce. I'm going to pounce that brush. And yep, I'm going over the light. I'm going over the dark. And because the brush doesn't actually pick up much, it doesn't transfer that color. I'm telling you, it's totally amazing. Totally amazing. I'm going to go above that contour, not working with the contour yet. I'm going to go up here. Now this is where I'm going to flip to my pointed edge or brush, and I'm actually going to work around there because I don't want to mess up the eyebrows. I already spent quite a bit of time doing my eyebrows, so I don't want to do that. And then this is where we're going to try to blend that contour on my nose just a little bit. Okay? And I'm still blending anything else. I'm saving my eyes to the very end. So I want to make sure that I'm all blended out here. Okay? All right. I have everything blended now but the eyes and the contour. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to take this brush. I like this brush. Some people pinch their brush. I just have a hard time doing that, and that's just because of my dexterity. What I'm doing is now is I'm pushing that color up. Okay? I don't want to bring it down. I want to push it up. Then I'm going to come back with my 3D brush, and I'm going to just kind of swirl it underneath there so that I get a good blend. All right. Now I'm going to blend that part that I put on the little fatty part of my cheek. I'm going to use the pointed end around my nose. I have larger pores around my nose, as most senior women will attest to. And now I'm taking that color that I put out there and swiping it up so that I get rid of any mistakes that I made with my eyeshadow. Swiping it up. And the only thing that goes underneath my eye is what's on the brush. I didn't put anything extra underneath there. And again, I'm not tugging. I'm not pulling. Let me see. I'm looking to see if there's anything I didn't blend. I think we're blended. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my lip and cheek color. I'm going to put it up here. And you think, wow, that is a lot. It's going to fade in. So I'm just going to tell you that ahead of time. I like to use my bronzer brush on the one end to put my cheek color. I take my cheek color, kind of move it up into my eye, and you notice that I'm going up. When I was younger, I could put my blush here on the apples of my cheek. But if you'll notice, when I smile, my cheeks are high, it looks great, but when I'm not smiling anymore, you see where they go. So if I were to put color on the apples of my cheeks, the way many of the gals that you're watching do the videos, it would simply drag my face down all the more. Okay? And I'm old school. We take blush and we put it across our nose. All right, so that's kind of everything with the exception of bronzer. I'm a big fan of bronzer. Doesn't matter what time of year it is, doesn't matter what season we're in, I like bronzer. Why do I like bronzer? Bronzer warms the face. Contour chisels and applies shadow. Bronzer warms the face. And I'm going to give myself a little bit of bronzer on my brush. And bronzer is another one of those that is a little thicker product. So sometimes if it's a new one, I'm going to test it on my arm before I go to apply it on my face. And then I'm going to take my sponge, which has been moistened, and then it has been squeezed out. I'm squeezing a little bit more water out of it because I notice it's a little damper than what I like. Now, as you watch me with this sponge, you'll notice that I didn't apply with a sponge. I really like the coverage with a brush, and I like the coverage with a brush to pounce. Again, the older you get, the more texture you have on your face. So when I used to apply and do this motion, I used a CC cream before. When I did this, I could see the brush strokes, and I never got the coverage that I wanted with a sponge. So what I do is, because this is cream makeup, we either need to set it with a setting spray or a powder. I want to take off any excess that might be there. I do not want to look like I didn't blend something. So I go over my entire face with my sponge. And you'll notice I am pressing in. I'm not doing this. I'm pressing in. I want that product to mold with my skin. Okay. And look, you can't see anything. I mean, it's like it didn't pick up anything. All right, so there, now we need to put a little bit of mascara on. So I happen to use Thrive mascara. I love the tubing mascara. It comes off very, very easily, and I get a lot of payout on this. There is supposedly a dupe from, I think Milani has one, and I haven't tried it yet. But when this one is to the point where I need to replace it, if I don't have any backups, I will go ahead and I will go ahead and purchase that one. All right, let's see if I've got a little Q-tip in here to get that off, because you saw what I did. Yeah. And let me see here. If I can get it right away, I think I'll be okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. All right, so there is my look. I am going to put just a little bit of clear gloss. This is a City Lips clear gloss. I've used Senegence, Lip Sense. Gosh, is anything on sale? I just like a clear gloss. I love Buxom. Of course, I probably just like the tingly feeling. But here is a 71-year-old face with Saint makeup. Everything I used on my face is in this palette. My sticky notes help me determine what's in what level, because this is it's called a 12. I keep all of my face products in that one. And then in this one is where I keep any illuminators if I want, my eyeshadows, my cleaning tile for my brush, and I do keep the setting powder here as well. So what I want to do is I want to show you about the setting powder. So I just use a different brush because it's the only thing this one gets used for. And it's the setting powder. Again, I'm going to just go through there And you're going to say, well, okay, I kind of like that dewy look. I want you to compare the side with the powder to the one without. This one, because of the glisten, it shows a little bit more texture. As soon as I go over it with the brush, and notice, again, I'm stippling, it just quiets that down, and it looks great. Please notice I did not go underneath the eye at all. For me, it doesn't work. I know other people say that it does. For me, it doesn't. Everybody's makeup routine is different, and you need to decide what's best for you. And if powder doesn't work under your eyes, then you need to find a way to do your eyes without having to have a lot of product there. The reason most of us have creasing in the texture is because we have too many layers on over the top. And all you've done, and if you put a really thick concealer on, it can't absorb into the skin. So it's going to sit there, and then it's going to get into the creases. But you'll notice I have no creasing, but I also have hardly no product underneath my eyes. But look how good they look. They really look good. Even the tear trough. Now, I could do some color correcting with that, which Saint does have a new product called Demi. And I could actually do some color correcting, and I'll do that another time. But today, I wanted to show you a basic application. I'm going to spray this after I get off camera. I will spray this, even though I used setting powder, I'm also going to spray it with a setting spray. And the reason I do that is because I want it to last for the rest of the day. If I keep my hands off my face will be like this. I also only put one layer of mascara on. I hardly ever put two on. I do not like, on me, I do not like the spidery look. I just like natural lashes. I don't put any on my lower lash line anymore. I do have a little bit of a pencil underneath there, and that's it. I tight line underneath my lashes, so I no longer have a line on top. It's a pretty basic color, or basic look, but it could be worn anytime, day or evening, and you could amp it up if you wanted to. Look how the shadow, or the cheek color has toned down. I mean, if anything, I would say I need a little bit more. And guess what? There's still some on my brush. I didn't reload it. I'm just going to pounce that back on before I spray. There you go. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know below. I will also have my link. If you would like a color match, I'll be happy to do that for you and get your colors back to you within 24 hours. I will also include a shopping link. If you are running low on product and you have lost touch with your artist and you just want to place an order, I get that. Maybe you want to update your eyeshadows. You can use the shopping link, and you can actually just shop on my website. If you currently have an artist and you're happy with them, God bless you, because I have watched a lot of videos myself. I know how that is. Sometimes we pick up little tips and tricks from other people, but I do appreciate you stopping by, and I wish you well. Happy Sunday.